Ever found yourself staring at a copy of Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities, feeling a little bit lost? Maybe you've heard it's a classic, but the thought of diving into a story set during the French Revolution seems, well, intimidating. Don't worry, you're not alone. Let's break down this incredible novel together, and I promise by the end of this video you will not only understand it, but also appreciate why it is a masterpiece that still resonates with us today. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's travel back in time to London and Paris. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. You've probably heard that famous opening line before. It perfectly captures the heart of the story. Dickens sets his stage in two vastly different cities. London, which is relatively stable and peaceful, and Paris, which is on the brink of absolute chaos. The year is 1775 and the French Revolution is brewing. The common people of France are suffering under the oppressive rule of the aristocracy, leading to immense poverty, injustice, and a burning desire for change. This isn't just a backdrop. This tension, this stark contrast between wealth and suffering, is the engine that drives the entire plot forward. So who are the key players in this epic drama? Our story mainly revolves around three characters. First, there's Dr. Alexandre Manette. When the novel begins, he has just been released from the Bastille prison in Paris after a horrifying 18 years of unjust imprisonment. He's a broken man, barely remembering who he is. His loving daughter, Lucy Manette, brings him back to London and, through her compassion, nurses him back to health. Lucy is the heart of the novel. She's kind, gentle, and represents the purity and love that can exist even in the darkest of times. Then we have Charles Darnay. He's a young French nobleman, but he's nothing like the cruel aristocrats you might imagine. In fact, he is so disgusted by his family's cruelty that he renounces his title and moves to London to live a simple, honest life. He and Lucy fall in love and get married. It seems like a perfect happy ending, right? Well, not so fast. This is a Dickens novel after all, and that brings us to our third and perhaps most fascinating character, Sidney Carton. Carton is a brilliant but cynical and self-loathing lawyer in London. He spends his days drinking and feeling like his life is a complete waste. He looks remarkably like Charles Darnay, so much so that they could be twins. This isn't just a random coincidence. It becomes incredibly important later. Carton also falls deeply in love with Lucy, but he knows he's not worthy of her. Her goodness inspires him, and he makes her a solemn promise. He would do anything, absolutely anything, for her and for those she loves. As the French Revolution explodes in Paris, the story takes a dark and dangerous turn. The oppressed masses rise up, and the reign of terror begins. The guillotine becomes a horrifying symbol of revolutionary justice, or rather vengeance. Charles Darnay, despite having abandoned his aristocratic past, is lured back to Paris to help. A former servant. It's a trap. He's arrested and sentenced to death simply because of his family name. The very revolution that was supposed to bring justice has become a bloodthirsty mob. This is where the novel's central themes of sacrifice and resurrection truly shine. With Charles Darnay condemned to the guillotine, all hope seems lost. Lucy is devastated, but remember Sidney Carton? Remember his promise? This is his moment. In one of the most powerful and moving acts in all of literature, Carton devises a plan. He uses his uncanny resemblance to Darnay to his advantage. He goes to the prison, drugs Darnay, and swaps places with him. The unconscious Darnay is smuggled out and reunited with his family, while Carton, calm and at peace for the first time in his life, goes to the guillotine in his place. Why does he do it? For his unrequited love for Lucy. He knows that by sacrificing himself, he can give her and her family a future filled with happiness. His final thoughts before his execution are incredibly profound. It is a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest that I go to than I have ever known. Through this ultimate act of self-sacrifice, the wasted, cynical Sidney Carton finds redemption. He is, in a way, resurrected into a symbol of heroism and pure love. So, A Tale of Two Cities is much more than just a historical novel about the French Revolution. It's a timeless exploration of duality, good and evil, love and hate, sacrifice and vengeance. It questions the nature of justice and shows how violence can corrupt even the noblest of causes. But above all, it is a story about the incredible power of love and sacrifice to redeem a human soul and create a better world, even out of the ashes of the worst of times. I hope this helps you see the brilliance of Dickens's work. If you've been hesitant to read it, maybe give it a try now. You won't be disappointed. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into classic literature. See you next time.